So for us today is a very big achievement. It's an achievement of what we call another milestone. And why it is an achievement is because the story of number 43 hails from Swaziland. But its origin is in Hammanskraal and Soweto. This is a house that was set up to raise a family in protest against Bantu education. And our parents left South Africa for Swaziland in 1965 to avoid an education that they thought was not going to help us. They've been there ever since, and that's where they are buried today. This house that they set up ended up being something that they never planned for it to be. It ended up being the most important establishment for the liberation forces outside of South Africa. It became a home away from home. Over 80% of the operations of the ANC and the PAC were planned, launched, and celebrated in that house. Unlike other houses in the region, it was never attacked. We never understood why. It was much, much later in our lives when we started writing the first book called Number 43, Trelawney Park, KwaMagogo. The book is also out there. It's being raised for you to see. So when we're at the tail end of completing the manuscript of the book, we got the great fortune of talking to a police officer that operated with Eugene de Kock, both in South Africa and in Swaziland. We had an interview with him. The only question we had to ask him in that interview was, why wasn't the house attacked? And his response was a very simple one. He said, Elias, this is very simple. In our principles of the time, we would never attack a house that housed people that worked for us. That was the end of the interview. What it basically tells us is that we stayed, ate, drank, and slept with the enemy for all those years. It was revealed when Glory September, who is now known as Mr. X, crossed the floor and became an Askari. That was the biggest defection in the history of the ANC. He was third from O.R. Tambo. He could have been president of the country anytime, post-1994. But he was eliminated just before the first national elections in South Africa. So this is the journey that we're bringing to Cape Town today. This to us is a very important journey coming to the tip of the continent, bringing the story of number 43 and how important it is to us. It is not about the golf, it is not about the prizes, it's not about the dining. It's about preserving this history amongst ourselves and making it work for us. So we're very glad that you made the time to come and celebrate with us. And thank you very much for those who adhered to the color code of yellow. Can I see the yellows? Including those with the golf t-shirts. The color yellow is much more significant than Kaizer Chiefs, though we were mistaken. This is a color that has been dedicated to our old men. Our father, who passed on last year in June, just before a big annual event that we have as a family. He died at the age of 98. In 2000 and something. What's 3 years before last year? Okay, 2019, right? In 2019, we decided to have a birthday celebration for him. And in leading to that birthday celebration, this was his first celebration, celebrating 95 years. He had never celebrated his birthday before. He called us as a family and said to us, "Bantwa bam, kukhona into engifuna ukunitshela yona. My children, there's something I want to tell you." And we all congregated and listened to the old man. And he said to us, "Last night I had a conversation with God." What was this conversation about? He says, "I wanted him to give me 3 more years, and after that he can take me." And we went on to ask, "Why do you need this 3 more years?" And he said, "It's between me and God." And indeed, just before he completed his 4th year, he bowed out of this world. So this color yellow, Fahmida, is very important. Next time you look at it, don't think of Kaizer Chiefs. Think of the history. So there are many milestones that we can celebrate as individuals and as a collective or as a group. And if we think about these milestones very carefully, we will realize how much we've achieved as a country, as a nation, as families, and as individuals. So this aid memoir that's part of the aid memoir that I said you probably have not read, talks about some of the milestones that are critical in the Masilela family. So what we did, given that we have extended the work that we've been doing all the way to the Western Cape, we've introduced a recognition of each of those milestones, and we mapped them to each hole on the golf course. And we left hole number 18 for you to dedicate that hole to yourself. I'm not going to go through those holes at this time, but I'll go through them at a stage where we introduce our beneficiaries tonight. And you'll understand in more detail what they actually mean. And those of you who played the best hole today, go back to that annexure. It will tell you why you played the best hole. It's like the stars. You'll be amazed. With that, I would like to then conclude before we open the evening to dinner, to say that we partner with a lot of people to try and document and embrace our history. We've partnered with musicians, we've partnered with poets, we've partnered with winemakers, we've partnered with all sorts of people. Today we're partnering with an artist who is with us here tonight. Where is Charles? Stand up, Charles. He is not Charles Glass. He is Charles Masilela. All that he does is telling stories with his art. Later on tonight, he will come up here and explain to you what it all means. And you will start appreciating the art even better. He wanted me to explain it, and I said, there's no way I can explain your art for you. You have to come and do it yourself. And he has donated one of the pieces to be auctioned tonight, and proceeds will be shared with the beneficiaries that we're hosting tonight. With that, thank you very much. Welcome, enjoy yourselves. It's very informal. We will have dinner. Fill you up so that you're ready for the duty. Thank you very much.